Yeah. Glitch the guarantee. E&E. With your boy shit. Glitch, nigga. Shit, I'm about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Criminal minds, my Garcia can navigate. Flowing while I'm blowing this gas. Nigga, no breaks. Niggas not seeing me ever. I mean, no dates. Fuck around and end up gold. You get in this place. E&E, the shit that I claim. You dealing with grace. Took over the game by storm like Rain's mixtape. Thankfully, I been up in smoke like my mixtape. Counting cheddar shit, I'm about to make a grilled cheese. Niggas be faker than bad bitches with good weeds. On my John Wick shit like Keanu Reeves. Replacements won't be enough, you need the whole team. I've been a G since I could finish my ABCs. Kept it a buck so real niggas look up to me. This butcher boy shit get crazy when it's sick of me. I'm coughing out these dope bars till they sick of me.
Can't get rid of me, still can't find a remedy. Still blowing palmers, if it comes to Hennessy. E&E, we own our shit independently. When I go out on a limb, I take extremities. I can see right through on transparency. Heard their self-esteem low, insecurities. Now or never, like glitch the guarantee. What's the recipe? King L's Reflection 3. All these chapters in my life, you can turn the page. Books can't tell you my story, gotta live a day. Glitch got my back, yeah, you can copy that. Man, we control the seat, you can copy that. Leave your whole state red like Republicans. Putting fire on the track, now it's bubbling. Butcher boys, E&E, you in trouble, kid. At first 100 mil, you can double it.
Let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Automatic nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Blow sick, corona, jealous in the motherfucker. Can't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned to shining king under pressure. West side fat jacks, I took more to measure. Shave the extras, that's business, starter fees. Street blues, what I taught, royal blood flowing free. Power on my mind, knows the gang is kind. Read between the lines, it was in my eye. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated, ultra real, Fern Gully Mountain shit. Couple hot shots, turning to frozen margaritas. Even better when it's served with some flawless features. Next year they gotta pay for these flawless features. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I board the plane non-stop. The little J gon' take over with my time side.
Yeah, I get right to it. My nigga, we beg your pardon. We putting niggas back in boxes. Yeah, they be pardon. My flow be retarded. Sick, I need hella help. My groove came back. This must be how Stella felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the pros. This is how LaMelo felt. You better yell out help. Here come the double team. You catch me in the spot, then you know that the boy is clean. The Louis V look mean with the magazine. So if you try it, you get shot. No vaccine. If you asleep before I came, then I'm the caffeine. I pull the jokers out the deck. Yeah, there ain't no laughing. In CEO fashion, we sticking to the business. Wouldn't even let a vegan knock me off my chicken. Something about the BBS when the sun is hitting. Should be flashing like the lights when you getting
Let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go.
What up? Repping your brother Uncle Greg, back. And we here, y'all. Listen, man, I want to apologize for the tardiness, man. I have something I have to take care of. But we here, man. It's Thanksgiving Eve. You know? Y'all know I don't celebrate none of these dumbass holidays, man. But we here. We about to have this conversation on this goddamn Wednesday night. Because this is something that's very important. Very important, right? Randy Fine, right? representative out of, I think, Florida, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Yeah, represented House of Representatives out of U.S. representative, Republican representative out of Florida. He's from Arizona, though. Right? Randall Adam Fine is an American politician and former gambling industry executive serving as the U.S. representative for Florida's 6th congressional district since April of this year. He's a member of the Republican Party. He previously served in the Florida Senate from 2024 to 2005 and the Florida House of Representatives from 2016 to 2024. His congressional district covers the 6th county area that includes Daytona Beach. Now, if y'all not familiar with who this Randy Fine guy is, him and ILHAN Omar, one of the squad, which I don't even think she should be allowed to be a politician personally. We'll get to that later, right? And she's a Democrat out of Minnesota, right? And you know, they advocate for these illegals. And a couple months ago, her and Randy Fine got into it over some remarks he made towards Muslims, right? You did? Now, I ain't got nothing against Muslims, man. You feel me? I was locked up with some real good ox, man. It was real good dudes, real cool people, good, solid brothers, you know? But I'm not a religionist person, so I'm never going to be a part of no religion, especially a religion like Islam. It just ain't gonna happen. No disrespect to my Muslim brothers, but most of y'all have no clue on the origins of y'all's religion. Most of y'all. I done stood up here and talk with Ox, who was considered to be caliphs. I done almost got into it with my Aki brethren in the joint behind putting them up on game or attempting to put them up on game about the origins of their religion. And it just reminds me, like I say, man, ignorance is bliss. And like the Most High said, man, my people suffer from the lack of knowledge. That's another topic for another day, because I know some of y'all gonna be asking me, well, what's the origins of Islam? That's another topic for another day, right? But him and Ilhan got into it a couple months ago, right? Behind what he said concerning Muslims, right? And I'm gonna bring y'all up to speed because we, of course, want to talk about. Now we're here to this current day, and we still got Ilhan all up in her feelings behind Randy Fine, not only saying what he said about Muslims as regards to legislation regulating their ability to move around and have access to what they do in this country due to their history, specifically with terrorism. Right? Even up to current dates with this situation with the illegal immigration. And we're going to get straight to it, right? Oh, man, what did he say about Muslims, man? I remember when this happened, but we're going to get to that now. The whole premise of this show, right, is I'm going to show y'all that two things can be true at the same time. Although in regards to Ilhan Omar and what she has to say about Israel, I agree with her. Just like at the same time, I agree with Randy, my fellow American brethren, who's really maybe Jewish. I would almost guarantee you he is. with a last name like Fine. All right, pause. I also agree with him that all funding, all public assistance funding, any and every bit of legislation and funding that is being provided for these illegals needs to stop now. And I agree with legislation being passed to solidify that. How is illegal immigrants from Africa, Central and Southern America, even Europe and Asia, how are they able to come over here to our country and get access to benefits that we don't even get access to? And when I say we, I mean us FBAs. Specifically. Right? Let's listen to what he had to say, man.
Time, Joyce, for now. Constance, you are one of 3 Jewish Republicans in the House.
I told you he was a you with a last name like Fine. I really haven't done no digging into his background, pause, like who his family is, just because I don't feel the need to. It hasn't come across my radar to the extent to where I'm like, hold on, let me find out who this guy is. Right? I only really started hearing about Randy Fine when he started having this back and forth or this dispute with ILHAN Omar, who I'm not gonna say I despise ILHAN Omar, but I absolutely do not care for her at all. Her or her squad of goddammit tethers, more than likely. I don't know if ILHAN's parents got here illegally or were they legal legal migrants. Right? Understand the difference between a legal migrant and an illegal immigrant. Right? Let's go.
Working alongside ILHAN Omar.
Well, look, I stay as far away from her as I can. ILHAN Omar is not pro-America, and frankly, she endorses and supports Muslim terror. So I think that what happened a couple nights ago for her is probably considered a good thing, not a bad one. And it's very troubling that the radical left created this. Look, these protests are directly tied to what we've heard on
Sierra, what's up, cuz?
When they talk about globalizing the Intifada, resistance by all means necessary, and that shows up in the manifesto from this shooter, that's where this stuff comes from. It comes from ILHAN Omar, college campuses, and everywhere else. But
they all been indoctrinated with what I've been telling y'all. They have all been indoctrinated, right, with liberation theology. Liberation theology has its origin out of Russia and Germany with fascist, communistic roots. So, through Project Paperclip, and after the Romanov family was defeated after World War II, all this ideology was spread via the CIA and other intelligence agencies like Mossad and MI5 and MI6 out of the United Kingdom. They moved all them scientists and all them eugenicists. They speared them all down to Central and South America, which is why there's such a strong communistic presence in Central and South America. And they strategically put these guys in power so they can set them up to later down the line call them tyrants, dictators, and use them to strip the lands of their resources. And then after they don't have any more use for them because they basically done took over the economy, then they go in and call them dictators and call them terrorists. And just go back down there and butcher them. Like how they've been doing for the past 60, 70 years, right? And when they did all of this, They indoctrinated the political structure, the families that were part and attached to it, and the the rich folks, the upper class, if you would. The people as well got indoctrinated with this liberation theology, Latin liberation theology. In America, we was indoctrinated with Black liberation theology or Black liberation movements, like the Civil Rights Movement, which was communistic in its origins. Oddly enough, Black Lives Matter is also a Black liberation movement. It's not a coincidence that the two match like that, right? All of this theology, this liberation theology, or Black liberation theology, or Latin liberation theology, is all rooted in communistic fascist theology, coupled with Kabbalistic mysticism and Luciferianism. Yes. Yes. Right? So, the reason why people who live and are from these Latin countries, or basically countries that was taken over by Spanish Europeans and Portuguese Europeans, who were white boys, but most of them weren't white boys. They had white boys working for them, but the upper echelon, upper class were Khazarians. And they indoctrinated the people of Latin and Central and South America with this Latin liberation theology, which is really communistic theology. This is why they have such a strong anti-Black sentiment and mindset. Right? And think about it up here in America with the Sambos, the bootlickers, right? Right? The Stevens, the so-called Coons, right? They were indoctrinated with anti-Black theology or ideologies as well. Where y'all think those terms came from? Where you think the character of Stephen comes from? This is all a result of liberation theology, communistic, totalitarian, fascist, Luciferian, right? Communistic ideology being transformed, transmorphed into Black liberation theology in America during the civil rights movement, and in Latin American as the Latin liberation theology movements, as they were toppling the communistic regimes that were oppressing the people down there. Argentina, Peru, Bolivia, Brazil, and all other countries of South America. Go do the history, man. Right? And y'all will see that all of these people who were empowered in Argentina, Peru, Chile, Bolivia, Ecuador, Brazil, Uruguay, Paraguay, all these people were strategically put in place, right? And their governments were infiltrated by ex-Nazis and ex-communists that was opposing the czars out of Russia. Y'all may remember this as the Bolshevik Revolution. And here we is, the present day, right? Where we have the situation between FBAs and so-called Latinos. So if y'all ever wonder why Latinos have such a disdain for black people, it's because they've been indoctrinated to. Just like there's a certain group amongst us that have been indoctrinated to disdain us, and they look just like us. They are us. They're FBAs, right? But this show that I'm doing tonight, man, this is kind of spooky and coming of things to telling of things to come, because now we have this Mandani guy in New York talking about establishing Sharia law and all this crazy stuff. Not gonna happen. This is why I say it's not good, and I don't even vote because it don't make sense to it, and it really don't matter. But I keep telling y'all, and I've been telling y'all, that our government, the way it's structured as of now, is set up to be under theocratic rule. Right? Theocratic rule. And I find it to be diametrically opposed, right, to what we think or have been told is the original Constitution and law of this land. And we was told that this was a so-called Christian country, right? So why would they elect a Muslim to be in charge in New York, the financial capital of the world, right? And I'm having this show to show y'all that although these two seem to be diametrically opposed views with each other, they're actually just two different, like my man Red say, they're two different wings on the same bird, right? And two things can be true. You know, now let's hear what ILHAN had to say. Let's hear what old ILHAN had to say, right? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Dan Patrick, what's happening, man?
Was loud and clear.
Hey, y'all, man. Over here at A Real Talk 2025, towards the end, in 2026, we is going in on all real-ish. I'm about to revamp the UN Agenda 2030 series. Me and my pops about to get the Sunday Spiritual Roots going. Shout out to my pops, man. You feel me, y'all? Because Pops done been through some stuff. I'm gonna let him tell y'all though. It ain't my place to tell y'all anything. I'm gonna let Pops tell y'all. But we're about to get the Spiritual Root Sundays back cracking, right? And we're about to get them interviews back cracking too. But anyway, this is very important because we get two aspects of this story from two participants on opposite sides, seeming like they're opposing each other, like they're against each other. But like I said, they're two wings on the same bird. What ILHAN Omar is not telling y'all why y'all got her, why she got y'all thinking that she's just this devout Somalian American who is a Muslim and is proud of her Muslim Somalian heritage, and she wants to do things that help immigrants and blah, 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 blah. She's an agent provocateur. Upon becoming a member of any political seat in the U.S. government, whether it be the House of Representatives or the Senate, you have to sign an oath. You have to sign an oath that says that you will pledge allegiance to the state of Israel. You have to pledge allegiance to the state of Israel in order to receive any type of funding for your campaign when you rerun for your seat. Right? How many of y'all knew that? Put a number 11 in the chat if you knew that. Right? My man Dan Patrick said, that's right, dog. Two wings of the same bird. I've been saying that shit back in January. Yeah, man. How many of y'all know that? How many of y'all know that upon becoming a member of the House or of the Senate, you have to sign a pledge of allegiance, an oath to serve the SOI. Not saying that you won't be able to be a member of the House or the Senate if you refuse or deny or decline to sign this pledge. You'll just find that you only be in office for a year, depending on how popular you actually are, or if you got a good business going for yourself and you make money so you can afford to pay for your campaign. See, most of the people who are trying to become politicians, they're broke. They're trying to become a politician so they cannot be broke. And when they get access to the many ways they can just siphon and suck money from the people of their constituents. Constituent, when you break down the word constituent to its etymological roots, constituent means a pet or a house demon. Now, how many of y'all knew that? That's why I tell y'all to study etymology, man. Right? Now, we got ILHAN Omar, who is a Muslim, which is a conflict of interest in a country that is allegedly Christian. And I done told y'all about the word Christian. Christian is derived from the word Cretissimo, Cretan. And they were first called Christians at Antioch. But it wasn't Yeshua HaMashiach who named them Christians or told them to refer to themselves as Christians. And when you break down the etymological roots of the word Christian, Cretissimo, Cretan, Circe, Cirque, Kirk, which means an idiot, imbecile, one to be ruled over. Huh? That's what it means to be a Christian. It was a tax bracket code name that the Caesar over that area at the time of Antioch dubbed the followers of Yeshua in order to tax them while they resided in his territory that he was responsible for. Yeah, Brandon Johnson going down, and they're gonna do him dirty. He doing his thing right now, but listen here, y'all. Brandon Johnson, y'all gonna see what happened to him, right? Our brethren and sisters in Chicago said they get him up out of there, as they should. They should have never voted him in there in the first place. But ILHAN Omar is a Muslim, a devout follower of the Islamic faith. Stone Cold Kodet, Stone Kodet, Q5P. Drop the link, girl. You better drop something in that Cash Slap XL Pro. Hit me off with that Cash App going across the screen. Hit that super chat. You talking about some drop the link. Bless that Cash App. Bless that super chat. Drop the link when I get ready to. Talking about Stone Kodet. Right? ILHAN Omar, right, is totally biased to the whole American ideology. Stone Cold ET, you should capitalize the ET. Just a suggestion. So nobody tries to pronounce it like how I did. Kodet. Right? And ILHAN Omar, right? I don't think that she would be against establishing Sharia law. I'm not saying I think she wouldn't be against it. I don't think she. I think she kind of would be okay. Maybe she might. It's a possibility that she would, right? And her and Randy got into it at this point in time when he made those remarks about her being a Muslim and her, you know what I'm saying, basically supporting terrorists. And let me break that down for y'all who can't read between the lines, right? When Randy Fine said that she supports terrorists, in essence, in context, he's actually not lying, because she supports illegal immigrants being housed here, being funded here. She supports this. She supports ICE being prevented from doing what they do and downright out doing away with ICE. She's a proponent of that, which means, in essence, in context, she supports Muslim terrorists, because a lot of these illegal immigrants coming from Africa, coming from the Middle East and other areas who are of the Muslim Islam faith, they are terrorists. It's been proven. They're just as bad, if not worse, than all these creepy, weird, freaky, sexual deviants coming out of Central and South America. And once again, speaking on the Latin liberation theology, this is the reason why it's something that's so rampant in y'all's culture, Latin Americans, people from Central and Southern America. This is why sexual violation, right? This is why pedophilia is so rampant in their culture, because when they got their Latin liberation theology, which was really disguised, communistic, Kabbalistic, you understand me? Goddamn it, communistic, you hear me? Satan Luciferian ism, right? And part of that was ingrained into their culture, because when they was having all them death squads down there in Central South America, and they was toppling them regimes all over Central South America, you know, that's what they was doing. You know, the soldiers would be out there, you know, saying straight straight graping. Huh? Yeah, man, where y'all think they learn all that stuff from, man? Where y'all think they learn all them tactics from and that indoctrination from, especially in their disdain towards us? Right? And not just us FBAs, all black people in the Western Hemisphere, right, have been made to be the bane and disdain of the world. You know? Right? So when we're talking about ILHAN Omar, man, she's compromised. She doesn't have the best interest of us foundational Black Americans. She doesn't have our best interest in mind and at heart. She just doesn't. Right? And in essence, Randy Fine is right. She does support Muslim terrorism, right? To an extent, to a degree, with context. You have to be able to understand that, right? Let's go, man. This is her responding
Here in the days
to Randy Fine.
Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark were assassinated in an act of political violence, but that
y'all remember that?
was weeks ago. And we know tonight some members of Congress just don't want to tone it down. This is Breaking the News. I'm Janice Shortle. Democratic leaders in the House are calling for an apology. after a Florida Republican congressman, Randy Fine, tweeted a strong suggestion that Congresswoman ILHAN Omar is a terrorist. I talked to Representative Omar in the last hour, and Sammy joins us with more on this developing story to get you up to speed.
Hi, Jana. Let's break it down. Why so many top Democrats are defending Representative Omar. Here's her tweet from Tuesday about Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to the White House, saying war criminals should not be welcomed by any president or Congress. He should be held accountable for his crimes.
And that's a fact. And y'all gonna see what they do with old Nettie, old BB, when they get done with him. Y'all gonna see what happened to him, right? But Ilhan's right there. Bibi Netanyahu is a straight war criminal who should have been locked up in goddamn it Guantanamo a long time ago. But as y'all can see, the real criminals and crooks are the ones who are in power. And BB is definitely doing what he's supposed to be doing. That's why he's not being brought to justice for whatever he's guilty of. Right? And I totally agree with Ilhan, man. She's 100% right. Right? I don't understand why our government gives these people like so much money every year. You ever thought about it? $6 to $10 billion a year to these government for what? And they don't go to help the people. Okay, so what does us giving our hard-earned money to not the people of Israel, but the state of Israel, how do we benefit from that? Right? How do we benefit from that? And you know, Randy Fine being an American who clearly done signed the petition. Let me tell y'all something about ILHAN Omar. The only reason ILHAN Omar is in office is because she has such a strong voting base in her district. She coming out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, man. Don't y'all know the only city in America who has a large Somalian population like Minnesota is my city of Columbus, Ohio? They got damn near 3 million Somalian people living in Minnesota, specifically Minneapolis and St. Paul, right? And Ilhan ain't out there doing nothing for our people. Our people out there in Minneapolis is in the same messed up position economically as they have always been. Do your research on the Somalian presence in Minnesota and Minneapolis, specifically St. Paul. Other cities around Minneapolis or Minnesota as well. Right? Let's finish listening. Let's go.
Florida GOP U.S. Representative Randy Fine replied to Omar's post saying, "I'm sure it is difficult to see us welcome the killer of so many of your fellow Muslim terrorists. The only shame is that you serve in Congress." He has.
See? So Ilhan, I don't think she signed that pledge. Right? But there hasn't been anybody in Minnesota due to the heavy Somali pie. And this was done on purpose because they want Ilhan there. See, y'all got to understand that the game, the players change, but the game to an extent stays the same. They switch some things up now, but it's still basically the same playbook, right? And they got strategically placed in Minnesota, Ilhan, just for this situation. I keep telling y'all, y'all have no clue what's really about to happen in our country, man. The reason why people like Ilhan Omar is being allowed to have political authority, I keep telling y'all, the man, Damney, whatever his name is in New York, all these listen, all the people out there in California who you know what I'm saying, got caught on videotape calling little black kids monkeys and all that crazy stuff. All these people, out of all these people who are being brought here, allowed to come here illegally, the thing that they all have in common is that they all been indoctrinated with anti-black ideologies, specifically us foundational black Americans, as well our other black brethren and sisters who have also been indoctrinated with this same ideology. That's why you don't see ILHAN Omar actually advocating for us, especially in Minnesota. Right, let's go.
Since doubled down on X, and I'll show you those receipts in a second, but let's look at this first. This is the response from Democratic Minority Leader, U.S. Rep. Hakeem Jeffries, and other top leaders. The unhinged, racist, and Islamophobic comments made by Randy Fine about Representative ILHAN Omar are bigoted and disgusting. We are just weeks removed from heinous acts of political violence targeting elected officials in Minnesota for assassination. This is an incredibly difficult time for our nation, and members of Congress should be solving problems for the American people, not inciting violence. Fine responded, saying the Hamas caucus is upset. Boo-hoo. We spoke with Representative Omar just an hour ago. She says this is disgusting, disturbing language coming from a colleague.
He has decided that if you are a member of the Muslim faith, whether you're in the United States or not, you are a terrorist and thus should be dealt with as a terrorist. I mean, if I was calling every Jewish member of Congress or every Christian member of Congress a terrorist, I certainly would be sanctioned. I would be censored. I would be removed from my committees.
And Jana, Representative ILHAN Omar is one of the members of Congress who receives the highest numbers of violent threats, and that's according to Capitol Police. She puts Fine's statement in that category with those violent threats.
And a lot of this, you know, we had to keep track on social media to see if Republican leadership would say, hey, tone it down, Representative Fine, or if any sort of apology came, but we haven't seen anything like that yet, nor anything from Speaker Johnson, right, Sammy?
Yeah, that's correct. I think Representative Omar says that this should be an obvious response from Republicans. Republicans, they aren't saying anything.
All right, thanks, Sammy.
Yeah. Y'all heard it, man. The foreign pretty boy was happening. Yeah, man. That's what they do. Man, I don't trust it. Man, listen. I know a lot of people say, you know, I really don't be into politics, man. So basically, you're just saying you don't. Basically, you're just saying you don't like being informed about what's going on, man. Just say you don't care, man, and think it don't affect you, right? Right? ILHAN Omar, man. This chick. She was sorry. Absurd Islamophobia. Does anybody have Islamophobia? Does anybody have a fear of people who believe in the Islamic faith? I know I don't. That just sounds crazy. Right? Said that boy, or should I say Randy said that ILHAN supports terrorists, man. This is what she had to say to President Trump a couple of days ago.
And so much of our community here. I want to start with gratitude by thanking the Minnesota Democratic delegation. Senator Amy Klobuchar, Senator Tina Smith, Congresswoman Angie Craig, Congresswoman Betty McCollum, for strongly speaking in opposition to the hate, to the fear-mongering, and for standing up in unity for the Somali community here in Minnesota and across the country.
Listen now.
I also want to thank Governor Tim Walz, Lieutenant Governor Betty Flanagan, Attorney General Keith Ellison, for reminding folks why Minnesota is a great state, because we all stay united and uplift one another. And I want to thank the incredible leaders who are behind me, whether they are elected officials or faith leaders or community leaders, for speaking in one unified voice against the scapegoating of a community that has thrived in Minnesota and whom most have chosen to call this state home. I think I want to speak to a few things. One, I want to speak to what Trump has tweeted and what it means for those of us who call this incredible state home. Because facts matter, and facts are important.
They definitely do, and they definitely are.
It's unfortunate that we are led by a president who does not understand the laws of this land. When the president tweets as if he has the authority to terminate temporary protected status for Somalis in Minnesota.
He actually does. He absolutely and actually does. And it's crazy that these people will be allowed to be elected to public office, and they're supposed to be so-called educated, but they don't know the power of the presidency. He absolutely can do that. You want to know why? All the president have to do is declare a state of a national emergency within the state or any territory of Minnesota in order for him to do that. Why do you think Trump be making these bold statements like that? He says this stuff because he can. I want y'all to understand that, man. He absolutely can. You know what? I ain't even mad. He absolutely can do that. I'm gonna let y'all know. Did y'all know that when they had the George Floyd riots all across America, specifically in Minnesota, do y'all not understand that there was a state of national emergency across the country during that time? Did y'all not? That's why the military was deployed in our cities. Right? And all they have to do, have a presidential declaration of a national state of emergency. Moment 19, George Floyd riots. Today, just happened today, a couple hours ago, there was a shooting of 2 National Guardsmen in Washington, D.C. Y'all heard about it? What I'm saying is the only thing the president needs to do in order for him to take advantage of his presidential power through executive orders is to declare a state of national emergency. And I want y'all to know that states of national emergency have been being declared since George Bush Sr., Poppy Bush, was in office. And mind you, they're indefinite. Once a state of emergency is declared, it is indefinite, meaning it's perpetual. And if you think about it, we've been in a perpetual state of national emergency since the ending of World War, actually since the ending of the Civil War. Why you think they ain't let niggas in Texas know that the slaves was so-called free until like damn near 1970 in some places? Huh? Y'all better do y'all research, man. Stone Cold, you keep telling me to drop the link, and I don't see you hitting the super chat or nothing, though, bro. I don't see you blessing that super chat, brother. You hear me? If there's something you want to ask me or say, put it in the comment section. Yep. Or you can just tap into the show and wait till I decide to drop the link when I get ready to. And then you'll be more than welcome to come up and say your piece then, bro. We keep saying drop the link, drop the link. You better drop something in that collection plate, brother. You know what I'm talking about? I be trying to tell these people, different people, they don't understand how government works for real. I'm talking about with the president, with Trump, man. Trump is the most powerful head of state on earth right now. He's in control of the most powerful army on earth. Why do you think he's doing what he's doing? Trump supports the SOI. All politicians, like Randy Fine, have to sign a pledge. Where they pledge allegiance to the state of Israel. Y'all remember when I showed y'all that video of Cynthia McKinney? Shout out to the triple OG, Cynthia McKinney. Ex-congresswoman out of the state of Georgia. Who, the one that went public and told us all. Shout out to Auntie about this pledge. Right? I wonder if ILHAN has taken that pledge. I'm going to say no because of the way she talk about Israel. I'm going to say no, she hasn't. But you just don't know, man. You just never know. I don't trust no politicians, man. Not even the local ones no more. They compromise too. Right? So, you know, actually he can do that. He absolutely can do that. You want to know why? Because it's a state of national emergency. A perpetual state of national emergency. Right? And as long as that is present, the president has the power to basically do whatever he wants. Literally. Like literally. I don't even think y'all is aware of how many executive orders there are. And executive orders have been being placed since Ford was in office. I think the last time I looked at executive order by Trump, they were up into like the it's up into like the goddamn it 20, 30,000s now. Right? He can absolutely issue a law that prevents Muslims from, he can absolutely do that. And with the Somalian population that is in the state of Minnesota, most of them being Muslims, right? When they was out there selling that cot, that jot, any of my Somalian brothers and sisters typing in, y'all ain't think we was hit to the cot, huh? Or the jot, as y'all pronounce it. Y'all lucky they ain't call it. I think they did announce a state of emergency because it was people going crazy over that stuff, which is an opiate derivative from where we get. Guess what drug comes from the cultivation and processing of an herbal plant that originates in Somalia on the Horn of Africa, known as khat or jot? Guess what popular drug that's all over America right now is a derivative of that opiate? They chew on it like tobacco in Somalia and Eritrea and the Sudan. I remember back in like I want to say like 02, one of my trap houses, I lived above some Somalian niggas, right? And the Somalians' crib used to be jumping. Their crib used to jump like they was selling dope. Like we was like our shit was. Right? And I remember I asked the one Somalian dude what they was doing, what was going on. Because, you know, he was a cool dude. He's about my age. At the time, little young dude, hustler about that money. Right? And he showed me the little plant leaves. He said, man, this is what we be selling, man. Selling that cot, that chop. Y'all probably don't remember when that shit was real popular and in the news was that plant drug that all them Somali niggas was moving across America and shit. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? All across America, you had these rings of Somalians and Eritreans moving that jot, that cot. It's spelled K-H-O-T, but it's pronounced in their language, jot. It's a plant, right? Grows naturally out there in the wild, like poison ivy. And it is a real strong hallucinogen, right? But what they was doing over here in America, right, was they was mixing it with narcotics like cocaine. But it's an opiate. So what was happening was they was, goddamn it, experimenting with that cot. And they cultivated it, processed it, and were able to get, and I'm asking y'all to guess, what drug? What's the drug y'all think I'm talking about that is a processed derivative of that plant, the cot or the jot plant? What y'all think I'm talking about? Right? They did documentaries on this and everything, I remember. And I remember the Somalian dude showed me the plants. Just regular little leaves, look like little tea leaves. You know? But it was a hallucinogen. And they'll chew on it, and it just was making them wild out, pulling robberies, doing crazy shit, all across America. What Dan Patrick say, for laws to get passed, if I'm not mistaken, first, it goes through the House of Representatives, secondly to the House of Senate, thirdly to the Supreme Court, and lastly to the President. Oh yeah, that's how I go. Basically. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I said all that to say that due to the fact that there's a perpetual state of emergency in our country, and we have been for some time now, this is why the president has been able to abuse his authority. Not to mention all these presidential executive orders that we ain't even aware of, man. The ones that we don't get told about. The ones that ain't discussing on the news. The ones we don't see him signing in the Oval Office and all that crazy stuff. Right, let's go.
Even little kids in 8th grade know that that is not an authority that the president has and can wield. It is unfortunate that we are led by a president who does not understand the laws of this land.
Trump definitely understands the law of his land. I don't know why y'all think Trump is stupid, man. I just think that's just kind of crazy of y'all. For real. A lot of y'all really, this is how I know y'all just been. Trump is a very intelligent man. He's not stupid whatsoever. See, a smart dude can play a dummy, but a dummy can't play a smart dude, right? Trump is very good at feigning ignorance, but Trump is a very intelligent guy, right? So I mean, I'm not sitting over here trying to put Trump on no type of pedestal or nothing because he don't deserve it. But I'm also a real person, and I'm gonna be honest and 100 with y'all. And for me to sit up here and agree with anybody saying that Trump is stupid, he's an idiot, no. Trump is not an idiot. He's not stupid. He's not dumb. He's very intelligent, very crafty, very witty. He talks in code too. You have to be able to understand what he's talking about, right? And he's not very articulate, but just because somebody isn't articulate doesn't mean they're not intelligent. Doesn't mean they're smart. Doesn't mean they're not informed and well versed in what they're talking about. That don't mean that either, right? So don't get the two confused, y'all. Smash that like button, click the bell. Smash that like button, click the bell, share on your social media, and subscribe to the page and all that. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go.
President tweets as if he has the authority to terminate temporary protected status for Somalis in Minnesota.
Like I said, he absolutely has the authority to do that. He absolutely does. And the fact that ILHAN Omar either one actually doesn't know that or she's feigning ignorance that she doesn't, both of that is very compromising. One, she don't know. It proves her ignorance. Two, she does know, which means she possibly signed that pledge and she's just playing a part. Either way it go, suspect, questionable. Let's go.
Little kids in 8th grade know that that is not an authority that the president has and can wield. Temporary status protection for Somalis expires March of 2026. And anyone with that status has 60 days after for it to have any impact on them.
So my thing is this, ILHAN, why do us Americans care about that? What are Somalian Americans contributing to our society to where we need to be making special legislation for them? Ain't no special legislation for us. And by us, I mean foundational Black Americans. Ain't no legislation special for us. Not federally. I think Trump should take that away. Who are y'all? What are y'all contributing to our society so much over here in America to where y'all could, huh? And the same thing goes for the youths and anybody else. See, This is why we need to get on code with each other. This is why y'all need to support independent Black male content creators like myself. Right? Smash that like button, click on subscribe to the page, man. Crazy, man. Crazy work, man. As y'all say, man.
And so if you are confused, if you feel threatened, know that the law is on your side and our demented president can't do anything about it. The other unlawful thing that our lawless president is claiming to do so is to terminate that status for only one state, which he has no authority to do so.
Yes, he does.
For the 300 or so people that are impacted, that currently live in Minnesota and across the country, we see you and we stand with you, and we will make sure we do everything that we can to help make sure that your status is adjusted before March of 2026. Because you know and I know that there is nothing temporary about people's lives here in the United States. Many of these people that we are talking about have built lives. They own homes, they own businesses, they are a vibrant part of our communities. And we want to make sure that their new home stays their forever home. The second thing I want to speak to.
Listen to this chick, man.
In this country, we do not blame the lawlessness of an individual on a whole community.
Now that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Everything she just said is a lie. I'm about to rewind that so y'all can hear what she said. Y'all hear what this chick just said, man? She just sit up there and lied, man. That's what I'm saying. I don't trust any of these politicians, man. She just sat up there and lied.
The second thing I want to speak to is that in this country, we do not blame the lawlessness of an individual on a whole community.
Bullshit. No, that's bullshit. Every time, listen, just recently with our little bro Carmelo Anthony, he was basically just defending himself from some little white boy and his twin brother that was trying to bully him. Now all of a sudden he's a thug, he's a gangster, he's a criminal, right? Nothing of the sort. Look at his family background, nothing of the sort. Mom and dad together, all of that. Right? And they try to say in the media that he was a representation of this behavior that comes from out of the Black community. Basically saying that the actions of one person is a reflection of everyone else. So that's a lie right there. Right? That's a lie right there. Same thing, we can take it to Minnesota with George Floyd. They were saying when George Floyd situation was going on, they were saying that George Floyd is a representation of what happens and what is a result of what happens coming up out of the Black community. So once again, ILHAN Omar lying. They just get up there and say anything, man. Let's go. Clapping it up for that bullshit.
police justice, and that you don't put that crime on a whole community, what we also know is that there is not a single evidence that the president or his cronies have put forth that there are any single resource from taxpayers in Minnesota that has gone to aid and abet terrorism. That language is dangerous. That language puts the lives of Somalis not only in Minnesota, but across the country in danger. And if the president believed that, and he had evidence, he would take people to court. So we are sick and tired of the president waking up one day and deciding to put forth falsehoods and demonize whole communities, while the ignorant people that support him then take the lies that he's spreading.
Yo, I'm not a supporter or follower of Trump, but if you is, that's your business and your right to do. She just called you an idiot.
And use it as a fact. We've seen it during the campaign, where he said Asians were eating cats and dogs. We've seen.
There was actually some truth to that. It wasn't a lot of them, but it was some. Huh? Right? Eat the cats. Eat the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat. Let's go.
His vice president repeat those lies. We've seen the media run it as a headline as if it was a fact. That is.
It was a fact, ILHAN. There were reports of the guy with all the goddamn cats in the van running around Springfield, Ohio, rounding up cats and shit, man, and skinning them and stuff like that. Yeah, there were a couple people who actually were doing that. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I covered it. Go look at my archive. Yeah. It wasn't like it was like groups of Haitians just hunting the wild domestic, the wild goddamn, you know what I'm saying, street animals and shit. But yeah, they were a couple people that was running around doing that. And they wasn't even eating them all. They was using them for, the one girl was running around taking people's cats and stuff, gathering them up and using them to do demonic sacrifices in voodoo and vodun. What y'all know about that? Yeah, we need, that's why y'all think they allow cats to run rampant on the street like that, man? They can contain the cats. They can't contain them rats, though. Right? You know? You understand? ILHAN Omar, man. This is y'all's girl who's one of the squad. Let's go.
It's shameful. That is shameful. That is ignorant. It makes us look like a stupid nation that does not believe in truth, but traffics in lies. It makes the world mock us, and we are better than that. We are better than that as Americans. Somalis are not terrorizing this nation.
Right? And no, Somalis are not terrorizing the nation. Right? They don't have to be terrorizing the nation for what Donald Trump is proposing to do to them. to be able to do to them. I just told you all it has to be is the state of the national emergency declared, which it has been. What y'all think about all them hurricanes we just had? Don't y'all know how many states of national emergency was declared during this hurricane season? Man, y'all better, man. I be trying to tell y'all, man, y'all need to do y'all's research, man. When the president declares a state of national emergency, I want y'all to understand that they are indefinite. When once have you ever heard the president come on TV and said the state of national emergency has been lifted? Or when have you heard any of these presidents say the state of national emergency is no longer in effect or it's over? When you ever heard them come on TV and say that? Right? Most Americans' minds don't even think like that. Right? My man, the former president said, we are getting mocked because we are allowing people to come into the country, illegals, and paying them. That's what we are being mocked about now. But see, all that stuff is being done on purpose. They are intentionally allowing all of these illegals to come around. I've been telling y'all what's going on, man. Do y'all really think if our government truly wanted to stop all illegal immigration instantly, do y'all really think they wouldn't be able to do it like that within I ain't gonna put no time frame on it like that, but let's say if they really wanted to just lock the borders down, nobody in, nobody out, Canada, South America, man, listen, it would stop today. Right now. Y'all have to understand what America is being set up for. This is the reason why our government is being infiltrated in the way that it is. Right? We got all these foreigners who are creeping and crawling through the ranks of politics in our country, being allowed to do so and being funded as well, which means what? They signed the pledge. I'm going to say ILHAN did, right? Which is why she gets so much pushback and not a lot of support. But she's managed to stay in office for some reason as an incumbent. Is that due to the large Somali population? I would have to say yes. Right? Let's go.
We are helping it thrive. Somalis have always seen themselves as a fabric of this nation. We have signed up to serve this country in its military. We have signed up to teach children. We have signed up to become nurses and doctors and engineers. We have signed up to be public servants and get elected into office. We don't do that because we hate this nation. We do that because we love this nation.
All right. They love the nation. I guess it could be argued. All right. I guess it could be argued. Let's go. Anything, of course, can be argued.
We do that because we have deep gratitude to the Americans who have given us the opportunity to find a new home. to settle in that new home, to find new joys in that new home, to start families in that new home, and to call that new home our own. We don't complain on the sidelines, we get involved in making America better. And finally,
and I ain't got nothing against my Somali brother, but I'm you know, let me be honest with y'all, man. This is nothing against my Somali brethren and sister, right? Love y'all to death, man. Right? The ones that I know personally. Listen, and as a whole community, pretty decent people for the most part, man. Of course, you know, any group of people, you're gonna have people that's cool, people that's all right, people that's super nice and real and thorough. Then you're gonna have people that's you have people that's grimy, shady, and outright pieces of shit from all cultures, man. Right? But for the most part, they don't rock with us. Y'all know what I mean by that. So I'll say that, and say I ain't got nothing against some other people, man. But you know, I do admire how they stick together in their sense of community and camaraderie. I do admire that, and I do respect them as a community for that. Though. They support each other. They do communal investing, group investing. They buy properties. You hear me? So, you know, I can't hate on that. Right? My man, the former pretty boy, said 60% of our neighborhood illegals and migrants. No, they don't love this nation. They love the money of this nation. Let us give a rest and watch what happens. But they will flee. Yeah. I'm already, you know, I've been living with massive different immigrants since I was a kid, specifically Africans, East Africans, Somalians, Eritreans, Sudanese, Kenyans, Ethiopians, you know what I'm saying? Right? South Africans, you understand me? Lebanese people, you know? Yeah, man. And when, you know, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Ivory Coast, you know what I'm saying? Sierra Leone. It's all type of people here in Columbus, man. You know what I'm saying? And they've been coming here for a nice little second, man. So, you know what I'm saying? They've been coming here for a nice little minute. Been here for more than half of my life. You know what I'm saying? Neighborhood I grew up in, that's when they really started influxing all them Somalians, all them. But you gotta think, man, this is around the time when all that stuff was going on over there, Somalia, you know what I'm saying, Kenya and Ethiopia and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? When all they had on, and you know, Sierra Leone, and you know what I'm talking about, goddamn it, you know, saying Rwanda and all that shit. You know, they sending all them African people over here, man. You know what I'm talking about? That's why our cities across America is just flooded with these people, man. Y'all think all of them people was legal? Come on, man, let's go.
Before I get off this stage, I just want to take a moment because I always jokingly say that Minnesota doesn't just welcome refugees, but they send one to Congress.
And ILHAN Omar ain't did shit for the black community since she's been in office. Nothing. Not for FBAs, anyway. The black community in Minnesota ain't no more improved since she's been in office. Y'all better go do y'all's research. Right? Crazy stuff, man. This boy really fine color with it. You Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Share on your social engineering. Right.
But if you're an immigrant to this country who wants free stuff, stay home. And American taxpayers should not be going into debt. We should not be borrowing billions of dollars to give free things to foreigners. And so I will have a bill that will ban eligibility to all forms of welfare to all immigrants, illegal and legal. But if you're an immigrant to this country who wants free stuff, stay.
Did y'all hear that? Oh, yeah, they here, man. All across the country, man. My neighborhood out here where I stay at, slowly starting to be taken over by all them Mexican people, man, and Venezuelans. Right? Did y'all hear what Randy Fine just said? I'm going to play it back. Listen to what Randy Fine is saying. Listen.
But if you're an immigrant to this country who wants free stuff, stay home. And American taxpayers should not be going into debt. We should not be borrowing billions of dollars to give free things to foreigners. And so I will have a bill that will ban eligibility to all forms of welfare to all immigrants, illegal and legal. But if you're an immigrant to this country who...
Now, what y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? Cut off all illegal immigrants, legal migrants, whoever you is. If you in our country, you absolutely cannot get on welfare. So y'all got to think about what that means. Right? They bringing in a new slave class, a new bourgeoisie. Right? That's what they doing. With all y'all illegals. Right? And legals. The homie Randy Fine playing, he ain't playing no games. He said legal, illegal, it don't matter. You ain't getting no benefits if you think you're about to come over here to America and get some free shit off of the backs of us and listen here, and be having the nerve, the unmitigated gall, the audacity to look down their noses at us FBAs like they're somehow better than us. Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. That's what they're doing too. That's exactly what they're doing. My man Dan Patrick say, man. Dan Patrick said, damn, man, America's full of shit. Other countries help out their own citizens with welfare and education while America makes money out of military and prison. Yeah, and then they tax us too. Don't forget they bleed us dry, and then they give it to other people. Right? Y'all got to understand what the play at hand is with this. Y'all got to have the critical thinking ability to see how all this stuff fits together and why it's happening in the way it is. Let's go. Let's hear Randy Fine what he got to say one more again, just in case you aren't hearing the first 3 times.
Free stuff, stay home. And American taxpayers should not be going into debt. We should not. But if you're an immigrant to this country who wants free stuff, stay home. And American taxpayers should not be going into debt. We should not be borrowing billions of dollars to give free things to foreigners. And so I will have a bill that will ban eligibility to all forms of welfare to all immigrants, illegal and legal. But if you're an immigrant to this country who wants free stuff.
What y'all think about that? Cut off all public assistance benefits to all foreigners who come to our country. So I think about that, man. Put a number 11 in the chat if you agree with that. They said, boy, ain't none of y'all getting nothing, man. That boy Randy Fine said, y'all ain't getting Nathan. Whether you came here legally, whether you came here illegally, you gets nothing. I know that's right, man. I'm with that 100%. I gotta put a number 11 in the chat myself, Dan Patrick, man. Hey, listen, I'm with that 1,000%. Welfare should only be for American citizens, right? And until y'all become a citizen, y'all shouldn't get nothing. This, you know, I'm telling y'all what's happening, man. They're building all these factories all across the country. I keep telling y'all, America is being set up to be the new hub for massive global distribution. This is going to be the hub from where all the products that is going to be used to keep the global smart grid up, running, and maintaining. Everything will be processed, manufactured here in America. That's why what's happening to America is happening to America in all ways too, not just political or financially, physically, environmentally. All right, keep telling y'all about UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability, man. I'm about to drop the link, man. Anybody got something they want to add to the conversation? You just heard about this, you speak on this, you want to ask me something, add to the conversation, you know what I'm saying, considering the situation. You know, this is wild, man. And this is why we don't need to be allowing no folk, man. Listen, man. Everybody don't speak on our good behalf or try to put us in a position, but they want to siphon and leech our voting power away from us, man. That's why I do not vote. This is why I do not vote. This is exactly why I don't vote. Y'all crazy if y'all think y'all votes count for anything, man. Y'all wild if y'all believe that. Right? But y'all gonna believe whatever y'all want to believe, right? You know, the link is in the chat. If anybody want to come up, come on up. While we still got a few more minutes left. Listen, man. Then we got Randy Fine, who is clearly a you. Not gonna really speak too much on him because I didn't do too much research on him because I just wasn't led to. Right? I don't need to really get into Fine's background. You know what I'm saying? At this point, for one, I ain't been led to, and two, you know, like he's pretty fresh in the Senate. You know what I'm saying, or in the House of Representatives. He only been there for like coming up on a year. You know what I'm saying? Any connections he got, you know, I'm pretty sure I can find out who they are, but it's just, like I said, when it comes to him, my spidey sense ain't going on. But I agree with what he's saying, though. My spidey sense definitely went off when this chick got elected. Because I got people out there in Minnesota, all over Minnesota, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Green Bay, you know what I'm talking about? What's that? Coos Bay. What's it? No, hold on. I'm tripping. I'm getting Coos Bay, Minnesota mixed up with Coos Bay, Oregon. My bad, man. But yeah, yo, man. Yeah. this guy right here, though, like I said, he's a you. Which lets me know this whole situation is straight. But I digress. You know? Anybody want to come up? Y'all welcome to come up. The reason why I say this is a fiasco, because like I said, two things can be right at the same time. Right? And as a result of him saying the thing about the Muslim terrorists, listen, man, a lot of terrorists are followers of the Islamic faith. Right? It is what it is, man. Right? Then Patrick funny as hell. Yeah, man, the link is in the text now. Stone Cold ET. He gonna talk about some of my name, Stone Cold ET. Niggas gonna think that shit say cold that, nigga. But yeah, what y'all think about this situation, man? Like I said, two things can be true. Right? I'm absolutely with Randy Fine when he said what he said about that, though. I support that as a taxpayer myself. I support that 100%. Right? Man, listen here, man. What country on planet Earth can we go to as foundational Black Americans, get across and into their borders by way of force, walking across the big rivers and shit like that? Just think about how terrible it must be in Central and South America to be willing to do all of that just to come here. Just to come here to America and live in the most ghettoest, treacherous areas of these cities all across America they can dump you at. Does it sound like a bad idea? ILHAN suspect. Randy Fine, not quite so right now. I will have to look into who his peoples and all that stuff is to see who and what he connected to. Right? You know? It's crazy, man. Come on. What y'all think about that, though, man? What y'all think about no more welfare and assistance, public assistance for illegal immigrants and legal migrants? No more money for you. No more money for you. Huh? Yeah, man, them tables turn, Jack. My brother's the former pretty boy. What's good?
What's happening?
What's good with you, man?
Happy Hell Day, or the day before Hell Day.
You already know, man.
Yeah, nah. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. I'm anti. I'm 110% anti that, bro. I'm anti until and straight up, I'll keep saying it over and over again until this country fixes the situation they got with FBA, Black American, African American, whatever you want to call us, ADOS, or whatever you want to call it, whatever label that we're going to put on ourselves this decade. Until they fix it, you know what I'm saying? All of them could go back to where they came from. Period. You know what I'm saying? You guys deserve nothing. It's like not you have no blood on the soil. You know what I'm saying? If you have no blood on the soil, your descendants have no blood on this soil, or your ancestors have no blood on this soil. It's like you can go back. No, you don't deserve no benefits. You don't deserve anything. You don't deserve nothing. You know what I mean? And like what I was saying in the chat previously, what I was talking about is like because I've traveled internationally and I know how hard it is to get a visa to go to any one of these countries. They don't care that I'm American. They didn't care nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't care that you was bringing U.S. currency. No, you still have to pay your dues. You have to pay to be in that country. You have to pay. So why shouldn't they have to pay? You see what I'm saying? They come here. We look foolish. We look like complete idiots because some of these places be like, nah, bruh, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? If you're not coming from a war-torn, crazy where it's like, you're getting bombs, but excuse me, I don't mean to use that word, but you're getting lit up every every other day. You got bomb shelters, you got AKs, your government is actually slaughtering you. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for asylum. It's like economic, just because you're broke, you know what I'm saying? Just because your ancestors didn't create a way, or any type of economic or any type of industry, you know what I'm saying? We're not the ones that have to pick that up. You know what I'm saying? Your ancestors should have held their nuts like ours did, you know what I'm saying, and created industry. They did it, so guess what? You know what I'm saying? Economic asylum is not asylum. Okay? So you're meaning to tell me that basically, because I get into it with some Sureños or Norteños, you know what I'm saying, and they threaten my life, I could go over to England and be like, you're going to kill my family. You know what I'm saying? And tell them all that, and now I could just get a gang of free stuff now. You know what I'm saying? Is that what you're telling me now? You know what I'm saying? The international community should be part of that, right? You know what I'm saying? No, but us U.S. citizens paying taxes and all that, we have to compensate for that. Come on now, bro. Let's be realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, we're not. I'm not a what do you call it? I'm not I'm not a caretaker, bro. We're not caretakers. We shouldn't be caretakers for the rest of the world, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we got people right here that are suffering, starving, without clean water too. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't have clean water in your nations. Take yourself to Flint, Michigan, and see how clean they water is. You see what I'm saying? Straight slaughtering people. We don't have clean water in our country. You know what I'm saying? But we're worried about because you don't have clean water. Well, tell your government people to stop making deals with American corporations so they can control your water resource. Why don't you do that? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you stand up against that? No. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a bunch of cowards. You ran. My ancestors didn't run. And if something popped off now, you'd be fleeing all over the place, shaking the spot. When most of us here would be staying right here, shedding our blood for this soil, shedding our blood for the next generation, because you guys didn't have the heart to stay in your nation and fight for your next generation. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm talking about. How men back in the day, men were men. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, men were men. They were real men. They would sacrifice their lives for the next generation. That's what they did. That's how this nation got created in the first place, because they were ready to die for it. They were like, okay, it's cool. My great grandson, you know what I'm saying? They gonna have a better life. So let's do this. You know what I'm saying? But we don't do that no more. We don't have a heart like that no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, man, I gotta worry about, I got this mortgage to pay. I got I got this game to go to. I got these hoes to get at. You know what I'm saying? We forget about everything. You know what I'm saying? They done blinded us with materialism beyond the fact is to where we won't even stand up for ourselves anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's why they came in with the Second Amendment in the first place, right? Because what was it made for? So if the government goes rogue, that the people can stand up and go against them and say, look it, you guys have gone rogue. It's time for us to take control of it. Guess what? We did it and what we haven't done. Our government went rogue a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Since the Federal Reserve Bank, that was it right there. Boom. Right there. That should have woke us up and been like, okay, nah, this ain't nah. Now you letting independent business control your currency now? Is that what y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna let a private bank control your currency now. You know what I mean? It's like we should have known better back then. So nah, man. You know what I'm saying? ILHAN, you know what I'm saying? And all these, they shouldn't be allowed to serve office. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have no blood on the soil, you shouldn't be allowed to serve in none. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be in politics. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous that we've allowed this, and you know what it is? It's major U.S. corporations. You know what I'm saying? That have been allowed to infiltrate these politicians, pay their way, pay for them to pay for their campaigns, pay for all of it. You know what I'm saying here? You know what I'm saying? Because if you strip it all down, if you really sit back and you strip everything down and stripped all these people down, and you know what I'm saying, and got in their finances, they got all up in their bank accounts, they got into all their investments, we'll find the same people that's over there in China and Taiwan, you know what I'm saying, that's working people for $3 a day are the same people that's paying these government officials.
Wow.
The governor of my state just recently this year bought a $9 million house. How you buying $9 million? He bought a $9 million house. How you buy a $9 million house, bruh? You know what I'm saying? How you buy your salary didn't go up? Did your salary go up? It's like your salary, the governor makes like 200,000 a year.
Yeah.
Okay, 200,000, 300,000 a year. So where did you get that extra? You made some good investments. What did you do? You know what he did? The cartel people, you know what I'm saying? These fools that's jumping that border funneled money into him. You know what I'm saying? That's why he goes so hard for these illegals. You know what I'm saying? He goes so hard because it's private interest involved. It's like all these hospitality, all the hospitality industry, all these people are in his pocket, man. That's why he passes these laws to let these people like stay here, because like it's way cheaper to have them people come over across this border, work slave labor. You know what I'm saying? That's slave labor, right in the country. You know what I'm saying? Right at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Right at Burger King, right at Taco Bell, right at, El Pollo Loco, and all these places, you know what I'm saying? Work them for cheaper so you don't have to pay us. You know what I'm saying? You can pay them way less. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to do exactly what you say because they want to keep their job. But you know what's about to happen? Just like you said, Agenda 2030 starting to kick in. All these fools are going to be butthole out of jobs because all the robots are coming in, all the smart grids. That's the real reason why they get rid of them, because they're not needed anymore. Half of them are coming in the country with fourth grade educations from their country, not fourth grade education American, fourth grade education their country. You know what I'm saying? They're coming in, they can't even read their own language. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, what are you worth, bro? You know what I'm saying? What are you worth? Fast food, the service industry's done. We don't need you guys to serve. You guys can't even take orders properly. Every time I go to a restaurant, the stuff is wrong. You done fixed it wrong. You know what I'm saying? You can't even say $2. You can't even say $2.35. You're saying $2.30. No, it says there's a 5 at the end of that. There's 35. 3 and a 5. You know what I'm saying? That's my change. You know what I'm saying? That's how much it costs. It costs $10.57, not 10.57. Okay?
Mhm.
They can't even, you know what I'm saying? And I check them every time because I'm always like, put pressure on them. You're not supposed to let them feel comfortable. That's the problem. We letting them feel comfortable while they up in here. You know what I'm saying? They standing there, you know, not even speaking English properly, all in your face, letting you know that they have no respect for your nation. They have no respect for you as period. Because if you had respect, you learn the freaking language. You know what I'm saying? I can't go to Japan or go to Thailand or go to Bangladesh or go to Yugoslavia and go there and think that I'm just gonna go there, speak English, and work my way through life and become a millionaire. We're fools here in California become millionaires working on taco trucks and never speak a lick of English. How disrespectful is that? And for our people not even to stand up and speak up against that and let these fools come in our to our country and become political figures. How stupid do we look? You can't go over to Russia and become a political figure. You know what I'm saying? Illegally. You know what I'm saying? Because and have an anchor baby. We're one of the only countries that have that whole anchor baby policy. How dumb do we look? You know what I'm saying? And it's not even a real policy. They found a way to finagle it through the 14th Amendment that was made for us. And they spit in your face when they do that. They laugh in your face. They laugh in your face because they can come to my state and get free health care and you can't get jack. You gotta pay at least $250 a month for your health care. And they gotta pay nothing. You know what I'm saying? They laughing at you in your face. Cause you lazy, Holmes. You is lazy. It's like these people. I mean, really, I don't know why people aren't even getting even. Oh, well, we can't do nothing. Yes, you can. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these people feel comfortable. Make them feel so uncomfortable that they want to go back home. You know what I'm saying? How could you want to stay in a place where people don't like your ass? I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna force yourself. You're gonna force yourself in here, and people don't like you. People don't want you here. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you here because you're coming with that whole scamming mentality, trying to snake and lie and do all that crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, like, I know for a fact, like Mexico, there's a book right now that I've been trying to tell people about. It's called the Country of Lies. It's specifically about Mexico. You can look it up. It's about the culture of lying. It's 1,001 ways that lying is accepted in that society. You know what I'm saying? They take pride in that. They take pride in deception. You know what I'm saying? And our culture, if you're a liar, liars ain't respected. Like you're a liar, bro. We don't mess with you. You're a liar. You know what I'm saying? You're a liar. You get beat up for being a liar. You know what I'm saying? You get beat up for being a. You know what I'm saying? But they get it's props. It's like, yo, yeah, I lied to him. I lied to him. He didn't know. Oh yeah, oh yeah, well, you had to lie. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, what kind of respect is that? So they lie to their people in the part of the country. That's why they lie about history. That's why they lie about everything that has to do with you know what I'm saying, our culture, trying to post themselves into our culture, try to plant themselves into our culture and say that they created hip hop when they was part of the creation. We were there. We were there. I don't care if you were there. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean nothing. You didn't create it, but peep the word and peep the deception. You know what I'm saying? We were there. No, creation. You know what I'm saying? Creation. Origination. Creation. They act like they don't know what that means, They act like they don't know what that means. You act like you don't know what the creators are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they always leave that out. Peep game. Every time they talk, that discussion comes up. You know what I'm saying? It's like this dude the other day. He was like, rapping came from toasting. What? No, it didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a need to rhyme. Do you understand? It's a need to rhyme. And half of you guys can't even speak the English language properly enough to even understand metaphors, similes, double entendres. You don't understand that because you don't have that in your languages.
Right.
So how could you say that it came from your language? like two, like for example, in Spanish, two means you, two means two. Means in our language, in English, two means two. It means the number two or go to the store, you know what I'm saying? Or you two, which means two as also, you know what I'm saying? When you say two in Spanish, what does it mean? You, right? It doesn't mean three other words. So there's no complexity. There's not enough complexity to make it to even make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? If you ever really listen to rap in Spanish, it doesn't make sense. It's all how.
It's
If you
all mixed
understand,
up and backwards.
exactly, it's your freaking Yoda language. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Your freaking Yoda language. You know what I mean? It's like stop it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta really as a people. We really got as a people. And I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about American people, period. You know what I'm saying? If you give a half or even a quarter about the future of this country, you gotta not let these people feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, the more comfortable they feel, the more your city and your state is gonna start looking like their trash shithole country. Excuse my French. You know what
Nah,
I'm
man,
saying?
it is what it is, man.
You know, and the thing is, like, man, because I'm real about this on this, because I've been dealing with these, like you said, like you've been dealing with them since you was little, since I was a little boy. You know what I'm saying? I've been dealing with this. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. I understand it. I understand this, the deception. You know what I'm saying? How they come in, like you said, if they really wanted to close this border down, they would. They could. They would start firing, they would start lighting their tails up at that border. You know what I'm saying? They would just be like, get back.
Big boy guns out there.
Exactly. They'd be like, get back. And they would step the hell back and they wouldn't be rushing it. So it's like, man, they could create jobs right in my state at the border and plug them holes, them freaking tunnels that they got coming through San Diego. There's like hundreds of them freaking tunnels. You know what I'm saying? You want a job? You're going to stand out here and you're going to plug all these tunnels. If they really wanted to stop it, you know what I'm saying? But they don't want to stop it. It's too much money involved in illegal immigration. You know what I'm saying? So what does that have to do? That has to do with our actual politicians being corrupt beyond. You know what I'm saying? They are beyond corrupt. We keep putting them in office, knowing that they're corrupt, knowing that they have another agenda, knowing that they're being being put in office by private business. You know what I'm saying? The whole problem is the lobbying. You know what I'm saying? You got to get rid of the lobbyists. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, once you get that out of our system, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, our country, our government went rogue a long time ago. You know what I mean? It's like you got all these freaking guns. You got people, all these freaking guns. It's like, who you think you're gonna need those guns for? Not an invasion. You're gonna need those guns for these people that's coming for you when you decide to step out of line. When this agenda comes through, when the UN agenda comes through, and if you decide to choose not to ride with the agenda, guess what you're gonna need them guns for? You're gonna need them guns to protect yourself because they're coming for you. You know what I'm saying? Or they're gonna starve you out to where you die, or they're gonna shoot you up with something. You know what I'm saying? To drug you up. You know what I'm saying? They're already poisoning the food. Half of the food you eat ain't even food. You know what I'm saying? It's freaking plastic and rubber. You know what I'm saying? Soy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like having the food you eating ain't even real. That's why half of you guys end up with butt cancer by the time you're freaking 53 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's like half of the cows ain't even real. They're grown in freaking labs. You know what I'm saying? There's a lab right out here that was growing them fake chickens right here at Emeryville, 20 minutes from my house. You know what I'm saying?
Came out there and said that that's what they're doing. He pushing for that stuff. That's why it's trying to get people to eat bugs and shit like that, man. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you might as well eat bugs because the animals that you think of, a chicken sandwich. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You think that's chicken? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Did you catch the chicken yourself?
Let me
You
ask
know
you a
what I'm
question, though.
saying?
Let me ask you a question, though, right? Concerning this, you know who Randy Fine is? You hip to him?
Yep, yep. Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yep, yep.
now he a small hat, right? So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I haven't done no real research into him, like who his people is, who he connected to, because it just hasn't been put on my conscience to do so. But I'm pretty sure he's connected if I was to look into who he is, who his family is, and all that. But he, what you think about what he said when it came to saying that she's a Muslim terrorist? She's a Muslim and she supports terrorists. Muslim terrorists. What do you think about
Well,
that?
they got their own. He got his own personal vendetta against them come on, man. You know, Muslims and Jews, they sworn enemies. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, you know what I'm saying? They sworn enemies. Regardless, it's like man, they could, bro. Those same two people could be in the government in freaking Southeast Asia right now. They would still be against each other. You see what I'm saying? He would still be against her. You know what I'm saying? Because they're sworn enemies. So anytime you see, you know, a person that's, the small hat and a Muslim, you know what I'm saying? There's always going to be conflict. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's like, he still got his own agenda for the small hat community. You know what I'm saying? And she got her agenda for the Muslim community, not for the betterment of the country. You know what I'm saying? Or the people of this nation. You know what I'm saying? They're looking out for their community specifically. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, it's like I mean, it's like it's funny, calling her a terrorist when what's going on in Gaza. Come on, stop it, stop it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you guys are the same. You guys are the same bird, just on different wings. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know, right now, who like if we really look, let's be totally completely honest. Them small hats ain't necessarily the nicest people, right? Right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got a nice
It's
little
like,
track.
bro,
Yeah.
they got a they got a nice little track record cracking. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. It's like you gotta be realistic. The whole thing is like, people like you said, like you were saying earlier about like the whole voting process. It's
Yeah.
all fake. I don't understand what is wrong with our people. How could they not see that this is a game? You know what I'm
They
saying?
don't want
Especially when it
it,
comes
man.
to voting. And be like, oh, I voted. Okay, look at, like, this is a prime example. Everybody talks about, you know what I'm saying? We gotta be 100. Get out of the fog in front of our eyes, where we believe that the voting system is created for us and that it's properly being administered. You know what I'm saying? Where we're actually, bruh, you don't even you don't even vote for the president directly. You know what I'm saying? You don't vote for the head of state of your country directly. And when you do, they don't pick the president according to that. Don't you even question that? Don't people even question that? That's freaking junior high U.S. government, man. It's like I'm wondering, are people even taking that class anymore? How
Niggas
don't you know this?
ain't paying
You know what I'm
attention.
saying? It's like, man. I'm just thinking like hella people just must have ditched. They must have just ditched and like shook U.S. government class. That was my favorite class. I was up in there. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? And from there,
motherfuckers
what
ain't
I
in
learned
school
from
every
there,
shit nowadays, man.
and
Yeah,
from
so
there, if I didn't go to any class, bruh, if I didn't go to any class for the day and try to ditch, I would go to that class. You know what I'm saying? That class I would go to. I might ditch the other, four classes or whatever because they was nonsense, English, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But when it came down to U.S. government, I'll always go because that was my favorite class because I was interested in it. And from that point, I knew to never vote for no freaking president. That it was a freaking scam. You know what I'm saying? And it happened. It tells you over and over again. It shows you every president. Like how many presidents you lived through, Virgil? How many presidents? Think about it.
Shit. Fucking when I was born in 82. So that means what? Carter was in office.
So Carter was in office, all right.
Yeah.
So Carter. So now let's really peep. I know you probably ain't got much time, but let's dissect this for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, when Carter was president, right? Think about it. It's a whole game. It's good president, bad president, good president, bad president, good president, bad president. But they all do some screwed up stuff. Okay, when Carter was president, they was like, oh, Carter was like. If you look back, everybody was like, oh, he's a lame duck. He's weak. He was the Joe Biden of the 70s, right? The Joe Biden. Oh man, this dude came. He's garbage, all right. And so, who was the savior president that was supposed to come in? Reagan, right? So Reagan was the savior president that kind of saved everything that Carter had jacked up, right? And they came, and what happened during Reagan? Crack era. Okay,
Yeah.
think about it. Crack epidemic. You know what I'm saying? Reaganomics, you know what I'm saying? But he's going down as one of the greatest presidents ever, right? They wanted to put his head on Mount Rushmore. They were like, this is one of the greatest presidents. But there's so much jacked up stuff happened during Reagan that he didn't fix or nothing. Iran-Contra, stuff, the whole Nicaragua crisis. You know what I'm saying? The birth of Ricky Ross happened. All that happened on his watch. But he goes down as the greatest president, right? He was the good president. And then who comes in next? Who was the president after him? The bad president. Who was the bad president? George Bush Sr. What happened during his time? Kuwait, like 92. You know what I'm saying? The riots. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? During his time, jacked up. Okay, so then what's next? The good president. Oh, he's jacking up the country. He's jacking up the country. The good president comes in. The first black president that like these ninjas trying to like act like he was the first black president because he could play a saxophone. You know what I'm saying? Bill Clinton. What happened during Clinton? NAFTA. That's why half of these fools are in the country in the first place. The NAFTA trade agreement. You know what I'm saying? People don't even realize it goes back to him. Okay, and what else happened during his time? You know what I'm saying? The Sarajevo. The Slobodan Milosevic, all that people forget about that stuff, man. All that stuff, and then it's like, and forget that he was impeached. Okay, why was he impeached? Because he was lying. He was a freaking liar. You know what I'm saying? So then he was the good president, though, right? Then next, who comes in? Who was the bad president? Comes in. George Bush Jr. comes in. What happens to George Bush Jr.? 9/11. New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? New Orleans, everything are bad presidents. So now we got to fix it now. Now we got to fix it. And who comes in as the next president? The fix-it president. It's always the fix-it president, the fix-it president. Barack Hussein, we got to be stupid to even, after all this happened, and we went around trying to slaughter a dude named Saddam Hussein to even put a president in office name with the middle name Hussein. What is wrong with our people, bruh? You know what I'm saying? What is wrong with our people? You know what I'm saying? But he was the good president, the fix-it president, right? Most drone attacks, everybody was getting kicked out the country. You know what I'm saying? Black people got slaughtered by the thousands, by the hundreds, and he didn't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but he was the good president, right? The good president. And who comes in next? The bad president. Who's the bad president? The same president who's our president now. You know what I'm saying? He's the bad president, the bad president, the bad president. And what happens during his time? COVID. You know what I'm saying? Which was all a plan anyway. You know what I'm saying? All a plan anyway. But we needed to fix it. Everybody's mad at him. Everybody's mad who they put in because this person who just told you you're not black unless you vote for him was Joe Biden, because they thought Joe Biden people were just like so like, oh man, we gotta put him in office because Trump is messing up the country. And what happens during Joe Biden? They're supposed to be the good president, though, right? What happens? Open borders. You know what I'm saying? Open borders, let everybody in. So now he was the good president, though, right? So now who we got again? The bad president. Keep the play every time. So now he's going to be the bad president. So the next president is going to be the so-called good president. You know what I'm saying? And who's going to be the good president they're going to put in office? Who's going to jack up the country even more? Again, because that U.S. Agenda 2030, it's all a setup for UN Agenda 2030. All this is
Hey,
always a
you know,
setup, and they go.
going pretty boy. I gotta interrupt. You know, they up there grooming Gavin and Kamala to be the next
Yep,
they,
yep.
they,
I'm-
they're
yep.
grooming them up.
And you know what he's doing? He's on a campaign trail. He's going around the country like giving speeches and shit. I'm telling you, people, if you guys get behind this dude, this country is over. It's a wrap. This is one of the most corrupt politicians in this country by far. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? By far. He raised our minimum wage here, right? So if you work in fast food, right? This is the first just told everybody he does not give a shit. He will ride with his constituents no matter what. One of his boys, I don't know, you guys probably got it out there. It's called Panera Bread. You know what I'm saying? It's like yep. So him and dude from Panera Bread are like best homies. They're like family, right? So what actually happened is he decided to upgrade to increase the minimum wage, which is part of the agenda because a lot of the people that are coming in illegally, you know what I'm saying? That are coming in illegally, they can't work without visas or whatever, but companies are hiring them as 1099s, independent contractors, so they could hire them as independent contractors. So it's easy for them to give fake social security numbers because they don't even have to give us a social security number if they hire these people as 1099. And the company could also write it off, you know what I'm saying, and use that as a business expense. You know what I'm saying? If they employ if they independent contractors, it's the biggest scam in the world. It works great. Okay, so he was like, okay, look, we're going to raise the minimum wage to $20 an hour or $22 an hour when you work in fast food. But keep this out: if your business has ovens, you still get paid you still got $17 an hour. You could still pay $17 an hour or whatever your city, the minimum wage is $15 an hour. Okay. If and guess whose business has ovens inside of it? His homeboy. So come on now, man. Looks like, what is wrong with people? How come they can't see that these people are not for us? You know what I'm saying? They are not for us. They're only for their own pockets. That's why every single president that goes into office and gets out of office, why are they super rich after the fact? It's like, why should they be rich? I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? They go in like half broke. You know what I'm saying? But they come out millionaire.
I just said that earlier. Unless they come from a rich family like the Bushes or the Fords, whatever. But a lot of these motherfuckers come from the same backgrounds a lot of us come from, especially with these immigrant other people getting up in the political office too. Go ahead, even with your last words before we gotta shut this joint down, Mike.
Yeah, all you got to do, people, you just got to peep game, but really pay attention. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. That's the problem with our people. You know what I'm saying? We don't pay attention. You know what I'm saying? It's like they bet on you every time that there's a new something that comes in. They feeding us so much information because we live in the information age. They're feeding you so much information that you can't follow it. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll be on one story, you go to the next story, next story. But always when people say like Virgil said, you know what I'm saying? Those people be, oh man, I don't even mess with politics. I don't care nothing about politics. But yet you're getting taxed, you know what I'm saying? 30%, 40% of your income goes to getting these people rich, to sell you a good game, to tell you a good story, to tell you what they're gonna do, which they never do. And they end up doing the total opposite. It's like if we continue to follow down this path and not pay attention to what these people are actually telling you, they're telling you what they're doing to you. They're telling you they're feeding you fake food. They're telling you that the FDA could put plastic in your bread when you go to eat at Subway. They told you this. And if you act like, oh, I didn't know, but they told you it already. You know what I'm saying? Start paying attention. You know what I'm saying? The more you start paying, people start paying attention, the more you'll start to, I don't want to say wake up, but the more you'll start to, your eyes will start to, the fog will start to clear in front of your eyes, because these people, these politicians, if you think that there's a savior in a politician, let me tell you something. They don't care about you at all. At all, at all, at all. These are the most diabolical people on the face of this planet. They have been since the start of this nation. If you believe they changed now because they're just such good, nice people, I like how they talk on TV, you're a freaking idiot. And I'm mad.
All right, then, looking out, man. Appreciate that commentary. Listen, and that's why I played the whole interview at ILHAN MR. That's why I played that interview, so y'all could just what the former pretty boy just said. They get up there. She's not even an eloquent speaker at all. You know what I'm saying? You ask me. But they get up there, you know what I'm saying? They can speak the Queen's English and all of that. But when you look into what these people are doing, the community that we come from is not the one that's being looked out for. On both ends, on Randy Fine's end and on ILHAN Omar's end. You know what I'm talking about? So basically what I'm saying is, us as FBAs, man, politically we don't need to be a part of no Republican or Democrat. At all. What has it gotten us thus far? Absolutely nothing. We about to get up out of here. Listen, everybody, enjoy your Thanksgiving tomorrow with your family, your friends, your loved ones. Eat, drink, and be merry. Be safe. Thinking about doing a show tomorrow. I might just. But yeah, man. I got a couple shows that I want to do tomorrow. I ain't gonna tell you about it. If I do it, we just gonna post about it and we'll get straight to it. But appreciate everybody coming out. Listen, man. Y'all gotta understand what's going on, especially in our country, man. We're going through regime change, global reset. Man, listen. UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability is in full effect, right? And so is everything else. Y'all be talking about the smart grid is now here, man. You know, tap in, walk with us, smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share on your social engineer, man. We out, man. Appreciate all the support and all of that. You already know what it is, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's go.
Yeah. Glitch to guarantee. 2020 got it so clear. Let me get to it. Glitch, nigga, for shit I do on these beats, nigga, I'm legendary. Niggas get to acting like bitches, okay, they Tyler Perry. Hide the women and kids, shit about to get very scary. Sticky bandits creep while you home alone like Marvin Harry. Up in smoke for real, nigga, I'm blowing heavy. Rolling up be all that I need, it be my method Mary. All my niggas be locked and loaded, we mercenaries. Type of gas I got in this blood will make your vision blurry. I'm in the clouds a lot, I make the pilots worry. Turns out the shit is my fight song, like Katy Perry. Ready for war, soon as I hit the door. I'm ballin', nigga, I'm Kobe as soon as I hit the floor. Taking every shot, shoot that bitch till I score. Hall of Fame bars, I'm Barry Sanders and more. The way I spit the shit, you niggas better take note. The guarantee, when you see me, know I'm up in smoke. Here's the lesson learned. We roll that fire, light that fire, then we let it burn. Up in smoke, nigga, losers gotta wait they turn. We set the city on fire, nigga, court adjourned. We don't need no water, let that motherfucker burn. Now we up in smoke, let that bitch burn. Now we up in smoke, let that bitch burn. Now we up in smoke, let that bitch burn. Now we up in smoke.
I ain't trying to hear that BS. Please spare me a lecture. I was made to be a diamond because I was born out of pressure. My dad was a G, but the drugs got the best of them. Some grind on their own while others might invest in you. Just long as you plant the seed and grow it like a vegetable. Everything will happen when it's supposed to, like a schedule. Every day I thank God and try to add another decimal. A pretty face Violence is cool, but I need an intellectual. Making moves in silence really speaks the highest decibels. They always said the loudest in the room was the biggest fool. When I go up in the booth, close my eyes and see the visual. Not butcher boys, but trust me, it's about to get critical. Johns, yeah, we slid a few, knocked them off casually. You claim you on my level, but really that's a fallacy. You still waiting on handouts, that's such a travesty. You're not even amongst my stars, let alone the galaxy.
Here's a lesson learned. We roll that fire, light that fire, then we let it burn. Up in smoke, nigga losers gotta wait they turn. We set the city on fire, nigga court adjourned. We don't need no water, let that motherfucker burn. Now we up in smoke, let that bitch burn. Now we up in smoke, let that bitch burn. Now we up in smoke, let that bitch burn. Now we up in smoke.
Sick positioning, running shit commissioning. You ain't seeing us, not sure what you're envisioning. We still winning, you in danger and it's imminent. Bunch of sticks outside, walking like picketing. E&E, on fire, man, we sizzling. Leave the scene flickering, damn, they're sickening. No witnesses, damn, all that soliciting. We pack a rainstorm, man, you niggas drizzling. Still riding hot like cars, no air conditioning. Yeah, still blowing loud pack, why you whispering? Handicap flow, leave them crippling. Sick discipline, all that mob penmanship. How you rate your bars? Insignificant. I stand behind my bars like imprisonment. Glitch to guarantee 2020 division. There's nothing to lose if you always win.
Here's a lesson learned. We roll that fire, light that fire, then we let it burn. Up in smoke, nigga losers gotta wait they turn. We set the city on fire, nigga court adjourned. We don't need no water, let that motherfucker burn. Now we up in smoke, let that bitch burn. Now we up in smoke, let that bitch burn. Now we up in smoke, let that bitch burn. Now we up in smoke.